Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Seeking Sister Wives, Season 4, Episode 12. Only 2 more episodes to go. Child. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we're down in Rio with the Merrifields. Child, Danielle and Bert are holding hands. Child, these two might as well run off into the sunset and leave Ick behind. So when they get to the beach, there's a translator with them, right? And they done put that phone down for a minute. And so she asks for a long time with Danielle, to talk. So Ick walks away and she wants to know if Danielle is really doing this for Garrick or if she really wants to have a sister wife. Well, honey, I can tell you right now, it's for Garrick. Okay, you came in and turned her life upside down, little wife. She definitely is doing anything. She divorced her husband. Okay, so he could go and find him another wife. So she's definitely only doing it for Gary. So Roberta turns to Danielle to ask her about it, right? And she was like, when we first decided to start looking for another wife, it was hard. Oh, child, here come the tears. I swear, y'all, I rolled my eyes so hard when Danielle was doing that crying. I was like, ugh. Her and her ex-husband, they annoy me with all that crying. Stop all that crying every episode. So Roberta asked why she didn't tell her that, she was feeling some kind of way and it was hard for her. She was like, I'm strong. So then Roberta told her that she's like, listen, I won't do it if you don't think I should do it. She's like, if you're not all the way in, then I won't do it. Roberta running game, honey. She just does not want to go with y'all. So she trying to find any old excuse to not go. This throuple is like Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing over and over. She get mad at Ick being enthralled with Roberta. Danielle sits there and looks confused and plays crazy. Roberta plays crazy because of the language barrier, and Ick cries about it all. Like, it's just not making no sense to me. It really ain't making no sense to me. Moving forward. So Danielle said, I want it. Child, I thought she was going to say, I want you. Ooh, it was a little touch and go there for a minute. Ooh, honey. Bert, you ain't getting off that easy, child. She said she wants it. So then Roberta is like, well, what about y'all looking for a third wife? That was really bothering me. Okay, y'all, she trying to go for another angle. So let's see if she gonna get into it. So Danielle was like, well, you talked to the husband and he said that you were okay with it, that you were comfortable with it. She was like, no, that's a lie. I never said that I was comfortable with that. I've always been uncomfortable. She was like, I didn't like it. I didn't expect for you guys to find another wife. I know we're not talking about Leah. If y'all talking about Leah, honey, leave Leah out of it. Okay, Leah just came for the day, child. She got her money and she gone. Leah was definitely just for TV. Child, the dramatics with the Merrifields and Bert is getting on my nerves. If it's this emotionally taxing, then maybe y'all need to take a step back. Okay? Because if you have to cry, this is supposed to be happy. Okay? City and got his woman, honey, and proposed to her down on the beach, taking her back to Tasha Jones. Hey, Tasha Jones. Y'all know I didn't see my Tasha Jones this episode. Take it on back to Tasha Jones and everything is fine. All y'all do is get together and cry. Like, this is crazy. The Epps family. So Taryn and India, they're at home. It's early morning. India opening up some Amazon packages. And India was like, I'm pissed because it's the next day and Marcus is still not home after going to visit Janae. So then little man finally arrives back home. Hey, little man. And he's like, hey, good morning. Okay, but let me tell y'all, nothing happened. Honey, I hope not. So he was like, I'm a little bit nervous walking in. I would be too. India looks like she don't play. Okay, that's not the one you want to play with. He was like, I fell asleep. So then he gonna sit down with them talking about, so what y'all up to? Sir, what? They're pissed. Well, honey, India is. Taryn just go wherever the wind blows. And Taryn was like, we were waiting on you. So he was like, well, I told y'all where I was gonna be for the first part. India said, no, you told Taryn, not me. Well, you already know why he told Taryn, because she gonna go along with whatever he says. You, on the other hand, you're gonna give him some pushback, and he don't like that. And I noticed that when he went out with Bina on this episode. If you give him any lip, he don't like you like that. So India is pissed, and she feels like, falling asleep is BS, and he should have some respect for them. Well, I feel like y'all should have some respect for yourself and not share this man. But maybe that's just me. Okay, maybe that's just me. So India is saying that she's worried, and she was worried about him all night long. And he's like, well, you got my location. She was like, no, I don't. He said, well, then something is wrong with your phone. She said, okay, then I don't have your location. So he was like, well, Taryn had the location. She was like, so you want me to wake Taryn up out her sleep? Ma'am, if she's the sister wife of it all, aren't you guys best friends, honey? Because that's the foolishness that y'all keep telling us every week. It's like having a best friend that you live with. To me, I can live with my best friend and that would be my roommate. But anywho, you could have went out in there and tapped Taryn on the shoulder. Hey, have you seen Little Man? Child, you could have asked her, honey, but you decided not to. So, honey, this is what happens. So, side note, they just showed Taryn's age as 36. Baby, that's gotta be allegedly. There is no way that Taryn is 36 years old. She reads so much older than that. Like, mentally, she seems like a teenager almost, but 36? Now, she's a beautiful woman, but I don't know, that kind of threw me off, and I just noticed that. Anyway, Taryn feels like they need better communication, because he has a home to think about. Marcus is running game on y'all. All of y'all. He's like, well, can I be forgiven? I'm sorry, just forgive me. She's a potential sister wife. So then he gets up and kisses them after being out all night with not a toothbrush in sight. Sir, you came right in, sat down, and started breathing. Just breathing everywhere, honey. Oh, child, absolutely not. So he was like, so I want to know how it went when y'all went to go meet up with Janae. So Taryn is telling him that while she feels it went good, like there's more that she needs to learn about her. He said in the confessional that Janae being apprehensive is something that he's concerned about, but she always calls when she's in town, which shows that she's interested. Janae sure is in town a lot. What you doing down there, Janae? Janae just want to be on TV, and that's just that on that. Moving forward. So India was like, I just don't know about the whole situation. I just don't know. And as far as Bina is concerned, I definitely don't take her serious because she play too much. Taryn, on the other hand, thinks that Bina is into the lifestyle and the history that her and Marcus have. That's going to play a part in them, getting this thing rolling. Now, me personally, I thought Bina was off the table when Janae got ushered in. But apparently I was wrong. The Foley family. Steve is with his son at the home that he and Brenda are building. Child, him and his son, it's awkward AF. Do y'all hear me? Steve doesn't have a connection with his kids in the slightest, and you can tell. So he's asking about Jaden, which is the daughter, and he's telling us that their relationship has greatly improved. It's better than ever. They're talking more than they've ever talked. He said, he feels like she's understanding what he's doing now. I would like to hear it from Jaden. Okay, I would not like to hear it from you, Steve, because I don't trust you. Okay, so I would like to hear what Jaden has to say, not you. So then he asked his son, he was like, yeah, what do you think about meeting April? He said, I don't feel anything. I know that's right, honey, as you shouldn't. Preston, okay, who's 18, y'all keep that in mind. Preston is 18. In his confessional, he's like, I'll meet April, but I wouldn't want to have two girlfriends. And just because Steve is my dad, that doesn't mean that I have to switch my ideologies just because of what he believes. And you know what? I love that because it shows that he's not easily influenced, daddy or no daddy. Like, I just want to know, how did someone like Steve get such great kids? Just how? Oh, y'all don't know either? Okay. Moving forward. He's like, well, I hope you like her. So in walks Brenda with April, who looks like she should be dating Preston. I said, baby, this right here is a cringe fest. It's awkward. You can tell that April is nervous. This is so cringy. So Preston was asking her, how they met. And Steve was like, oh, we met on the dating app. Figures. And that's where the creepers like to hang out to prey on the young women. Okay, and you ain't fooling me. Allegedly. So April looked like she was about to pass the hell out. When I tell y'all, April looked so uncomfortable. I was like, oh, somebody get April some water, a fan, something. So Brenda takes April to check out the rest of the house. And so Preston was asking his dad, he was like, how old is she? Steve was like, oh, she's 21. He is so proud of that. Dude, she's barely legal drinking age. You know what? Steve is so pervy to me. I'm going to start calling him White Van Steve. Like, just something about him is just so cringy. Like, why are you this way? Moving forward. So his son was like, 21? Yes, son, 21. She is 3 years older than your son. So Preston is like, well, I mean, basically, if you like, I love him. I guess that's all that matters. back in Brazil with the Merrifields. And guess what, y'all? I just noticed how gloomy it is outside. Ick and Danielle bring the gray skies, honey. It was so sunny and whatnot last season. All of a sudden, all this crying, child. Even the skies are gray. So Danielle is telling Ick how Roberta is feeling about the third wife. So Roberta tells them that she felt like, because she wasn't in Colorado and they found Leah, that they didn't love her, or that, Garrick didn't love her. I don't feel bad for you, Bert. You know why? Because last year, you had no issue leaving behind Danielle when she was feeling jealous. Y'all floated on the beach in your leopards. Honey, if you know where that's from, Y'all were more than happy to leave her behind to go on your little dates. Now, every time you cry, everything needs to change. No, ma'am, it doesn't work like that. The same feelings that you were feeling are the same feelings that Danielle felt. And just because you stood with her and said, "Are you okay, big wife? Are you okay?" doesn't mean she was okay. So, now it's your turn. So it goes, well, you know what? No more wives. God told me to wait. Oh my goodness. Garrick, I really wish that you would leave God out of this mess. God is not speaking to you at all about anything. Okay? Nothing. If Danielle would have said that, he would still be on the hunt for another wife. He does not respect Danielle. And she was standing there giving a look. And I'm like, Danielle, pipe up. Girl, speak your speech. If you got something to say, then say it. Child, this is just a mess. The Epps family. So Marcus is taking Bina on a coffee date. He flew her in. Okay, Bina getting flued out. But why he got to fly everybody in? I guess the women in the town are smart enough not to go for it or for him. That's what I'm thinking. I didn't even think they were still dating, but here we are. So he tells us that one night Bina was going out and he was like, "Where you going?" And she was like, "Out." He said, "Well, where are you going?" She said, "Out." Okay. And out is a complete sentence. Just like no and out are complete sentences. So he said he got pissed. He started being defensive, probably was being disrespectful because he sounds and looks like the type that would get disrespectful. And now he's like, now I'm just wondering if we can get past this disconnect. There's no disconnect. That's code for none of your business. I'm my own person. I said out. Child, she probably was going on a date. But that's neither here nor there, honey. That's just a side note. So he's apologizing to her, for going off on her and whatnot. And he's like, I just feel like if I ask you where you're going, you should have answered me. She's like, my answer should have been enough. I'm not changing it because you want me to change it. Basically, I said what I said and I ain't changing it. Okay, point blank in the period. He's like, well, it upset me. So I'm going to need you to marinate on it. She did. And her answer is, I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm going to say it when I want to say it. And that's just it. Like, are you not listening? See, Marcus wants to be in control of these women's lives. And see, he gonna soon get rid of India and she don't know it. India talks too much for Marcus. Now for me, she's saying all the right things. I don't know how she even got trapped into this anyway. But I do feel like sooner or later, Marcus is gonna be like, okay, India, like everything I do is a problem. Like it's not gonna be able to work. So Bina basically told him, I don't like being smothered. I don't like having to tell people where I'm going. I don't like people telling me what to do. Bina isn't going to be able to do this situation. The reason why is because between him and India, oh, baby, it's not going to work. Oh, no, ma'am. The Davis family. It's the big night for Nick and the Three Blind Mice. But why is Jen putting eyeshadow on Nick's lids? Just why? Baby, when I saw her putting that black eyeshadow on Nick, I said he don't need another black spot on his body. Every episode, we get a close-up of his black heads. And now you adding more black on top of the black heads? Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. Each episode, it just gets weirder and weirder. So they're going to propose to my Danielle. Danielle, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. This is a no-no. We're not interested. We don't give a damn about Nick and his harem of women. We don't want it. Okay? We don't want it. Oh, child, I hope she says no. But here we go. So Nick is dressed like a pimped out leprechaun. And I was like, what is going on here? He comes out. He's like, yeah, I like a little makeup. And Danielle likes it too. She likes when I look theatrical. Yeah, theatrical is right. It's giving Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, my goodness. Oh, y'all, I just try so hard. These are my honest reactions, honey. This is not scripted. This is not a drill. Oh, honey, it does give me a Little Shop of Horrors. I can't stand it. So April is coaching him on how it's going to go down. She was like, listen, remember you're going to be talking, and then all three of us are going to ask her, will you marry us? I don't know why he even involved. Don't he make y'all marry each other? Child, it's a whole fool. So they all get in the car, headed out to ruin Danielle's life. So when she got in the car, she's like, I just feel like this date is going to be something special because it was planned. So I'm thinking it's going to be something really special. So they're going to propose to her at the Denver Clock Tower. They got the rose petals set up, a place setting for all of them. So they go and they sit down. Nick looking how he looking with his little medallion around his neck. You know, the other two, they're dressed up. Danielle is giving her zhuzh. So they all sit down, right? When they sit down, Nick starts giving this speech about time and love and how everyone loves differently and how they stand the test of time and the clock is this. And so I was like, okay, just get to it, sir. So he grabs Danielle's hand with his eyeshadow filled face and they ask her, will you marry us? She's like, really? Me? Oh, girl. So she starts to cry, but it's okay when Danielle cries because she don't cry often. So she starts to cry and she was like, yeah, Danielle, blink twice if you need help. I will come to wherever you are to stop you from being involved with Nick and these women. Like, I don't like this. So April was like, yeah, we do birthstones for our rings and we gave her a blue sapphire. Well, child, we know Nick ain't gonna buy her no diamond. So of course y'all gotta do costume jewelry or whatever y'all doing over there, child. She was actually overjoyed at the fact that she was asked to marry them. I, however, am very disappointed. I don't want this life for her. I want her to grow and live her life. Like, she didn't even get to go to college like she wanted. Danielle, that is not a good idea. She was like, I just don't think that I've ever truly felt loved by other people. Oh, my heart is breaking for Danielle. I feel like they preyed on Danielle because they know that. See, people can sniff out weaknesses. They can sniff out trauma and vulnerability, and they prey on that. And you can just see it seeping through the screen. Oh, child. Anyway, she said yes. Back on over to the Merrifields. Honey, I feel like crying like Danielle and Ick. I'm just so upset. Oh, honey, I'm so upset. So it's time for breakfast. Danielle, Ick, and Roberta, they sit down because they're about to eat breakfast together. And so Garrick brings up plane tickets, honey, because they're trying to get Roberta over to the States. So then Danielle translates to ask if she's ready to leave. And Roberta said, yes, I'm not buying it. Still right now, I'm not buying it. So she was like, yeah, I'm very excited for a one-way ticket, but now I'm going to have to leave my mom, which you don't want to do. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to have to leave my mom and that's going to be hard. Well, you can always send for her once you get settled in the States, like that con artist over there on the Family Chantel, that is Pedro. Okay. Once he got acclimated and then started giving himself a little bit of zhuzh, now he working down there as a realtor. Now it's time for Nicole and her mama to come down there and wreak havoc. So, Roberta, you might want to talk to your fellow TLC coworkers. I'm just saying. Moving forward. Child, don't get me started on the Family Chantel. That is my guilty pleasure, which is why I don't review the show. But trust me, I have so many thoughts on it. So y'all comment down below if y'all want to have like a random live one day and we could just talk about all things Family Chantel. Now, I'm not sure how many people will join, honey. Even if it's 10 of us, sometimes I just have to talk about all things Karen, Nicole, winter, spring, summer, fall. Child, it's just be a fool over there. Ooh, honey, that's just a side note. So anyway, they finally purchased the tickets and in 4 weeks, she's going to be in Colorado. Here go Garrick. It's like a dream. Pinch me. Child, he's so goofy. I definitely would pinch you. Pinch the skin right up over you. And that was the end of the episode. Child, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you think about Nick and his eyeshadow asking Danielle to marry them. Which he ain't really asking nothing because they're going to have to marry each other. Child, I just don't know. This is crazy. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.